Hi, I'm Dan Collins, a Sacramento, California licensed real estate broker and court-appointed partition referee with expertise in real property matters involving probates and trusts. I'm also a California licensed general contractor, and I act as a court-appointed receiver administrator for the Superior Court. If you have found yourself tasked with being an executor administering a probate or a trustee in a trust estate, I can help you effectively execute your duties that attorneys do not help you with. To learn more, please visit my website, collinsfiduciarybroker.com. What happens if you are the personal representative or an executor or trustee of an estate that has zero cash? No money to hire an attorney, no money to get a fee date of death appraisal for real property, no money at all. This is a surprisingly common problem. Assuming the deceased had an estate of sufficient value and was not indigent, you may still find yourself faced with no cash resources to carry out the last wishes. I serve as a consultant in estate litigation cases and as a real estate broker for estate properties where there is literally no cash in the deceased bank or brokerage accounts. I had a case recently where the deceased had been cremated, but there was no money available to pay and repatriate their remains. I work with a licensed fiduciary who told me of a case she had where the body was left in the morgue for over 4 months. She had no money, and she had to fight with the morgue to prevent the local government from disposing of the remains. These situations of zero cash resources do occur, and they can really prevent you from executing the last wishes of the deceased. If you find yourself in this situation, start thinking about improvising. You may need to ask family members to chip in, which is truthfully not a great option. A word of caution about using your own money to cover estate expenses. Often, I work with people who are administering an estate and they use their own funds as a loan to cover estate expenses with the expectation they will be reimbursed from the proceeds of liquidating the estate. I'll have more to say about this in another video, but for now I will simply recommend that you do not do that. If you elect to do it anyway, then do not expect to reimburse yourself until your fiduciary obligations to the estate have been met, or you may find yourself in trouble with the beneficiaries and/or the probate court. The adage applied here is, no good deed goes unpunished. Once you get past the last wishes stage, you may think that an estate won't need money, but that is unlikely to be the case. Why do estates need cash? Well, if you're going to hire a good attorney or a CPA or some other professionals who might maximize your return on assets, those people are going to want to be paid. Some professionals will work on a contingency basis, meaning they'll be paid from the proceeds once the estate is settled, but most won't do that. Something to consider in such cases is for the estate to take out what is known as a hard money loan, which is a cash loan against assets where the interest rate is usually high, often 9 to 11.5%, with 3% or more loan origination fee points to the lender up front. The advantage of hard money loans is that they provide immediate liquidity to heirs and beneficiaries, so professionals can be hired and work on the probate case. Private money loans used for estate business purposes are not personally guaranteed, so there are no credit checks. The lender will have a lien against assets, usually real property, for which they will be paid in full once the property is sold or the estate is settled. The downside of hard money loans is they are expensive, but if the estate is cash poor, this is a viable and potentially useful tool. If you need to find hard money, ask a real estate broker for a reference of a good lender or carefully search for private money lenders online. As with all things financial, you need to do your homework and tread carefully, or you may put yourself or the estate in jeopardy. My name is Dan Collins. I act as a fiduciary broker in probates and trusts that involve real property assets. To learn more, please visit my website, collinsfiduciarybroker.com. Thank you for joining me today.